everybody, welcome to the Firefly Studio 67. This is take 2 of altering another envelope project for you guys, and this is going to create a pocket for your junk journals, or it would make a beautiful gift tag, I think, idea. This is not my idea. This is actually Robin at the Artsy Bohemian, who has a channel here on YouTube if you want to check her out. So I want to give credit to her. This is a really great idea for this little pocket idea, and so let's just jump in. I'm going to try to give you an overview of what you're going to need. You're going to need a permanent ink. You want to have a scrap or two of muslin fabric to stamp on. You're going to want a focal image of some sort. I'm going to probably use a butterfly, or I may use just a stamped butterfly image. A bone folder, a couple of envelopes, and so with that being said, let's just jump right into this project. I'm running out of time. We've got our kids coming in here, and wow, I couldn't believe it when the camera just shut off, and I was like, what? I know the SD card's not full, but at any rate, we'll start again. Alright, so you need some muslin fabric, and you're going to want to use a permanent ink, as I said, and then some sort of what I would call kind of like a background stamp, because you don't, your focal, whatever you decide your focal image is, you want this to be very subtle in the background. So just ink that up and stamp it, and as you can see, I have already done so here. Both of these sets are Tim Holtz stamps, so I'm going to include those in the link below if you're interested in those. Alright, so I've got that. I've stamped that. Now all I'm going to do is just tear this out, because I want the images, the fabric to kind of be fraying. And after I get this envelope done, I'll decide if I need to cut these images down even more. Don't you just love the sound of ripped fabric? I don't know what it is about it, but I absolutely love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit tricky because it's at an angle. I should have made sure that was straight. But all you have to do, if you've got fabric, just unravel that. Very easy to do, and I like the look of it. I apologize for my nails, guys. It's been a rough week. Oh, it's been a very stressful week here at work. And yeah, I will admit, when my nerves get to me, my poor hands suffer, so I'm sorry. They look awful. Alright guys, I got a couple of envelopes here, about a 7 by 5. And then this one is about 5.5 by 6, something like that. So I like the craft. I think it looks nice, but you can use a white envelope as well. You're just going to get a completely different look to it. So let me just start by showing you how easy this is. And you know, sometimes you think, why didn't I think of that? But thank goodness we've got ladies in our community who are thinking in different ways than we do. So what am I doing? I'm just going to pull each of these sides up and try to get them as even as I can. I shouldn't have probably burnished that yet. Get that as even as you can there on each side to the center of that envelope. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I jumped ahead. And bring those together. And then burnish those folds there. Okay? And then you're going to bring that flap down, and isn't that just adorable? And so, thinking in terms of how you'd use this in a journal, you could either, I should have brought a journal out, you could either glue this down so that it is permanently in your journal, and that would create a tuck spot, and this opens so that you've got a little place to tuck some ephemera or a private note. You could do it that way, or I actually think they're very nice just to embellish and then clip them into a journal. So I almost look at them as a floating pocket. So with the larger one, you're going to do the same thing, and it's just to show you guys, you're going to get a completely different look. There you go. Aren't they just... I just think it's such a great idea. Thank you, Robin. Alright, so which one do we want to embellish? I think I'm going to go with the larger one. And if I've got time, we'll do this other one. But so the first thing I want to do is get a little bit more interest going on this. And I'm just going to take the remainder of that ink. Oh, actually, it's already dried. Let me go with a little bit different. This is just a different stamp, so I don't have the same thing all over. And just fair, oh boy, that came out dark, so I should have stamped off on that, but that's okay. Yeah, do be careful with the permanent. It's going to be quite dark. You might want to stick with the vintage photo, but it depends on how bold you want that to be, because this is going to be torn down, and this is going to be our little focal point here. So I'm just going to take random stamps. You know what? I've got another ink. I had forgot about this, because this is the potting soil, and I'm going to actually use that because that vintage photo is just too light. So I don't want this to be, I just want it to be really subtle, so be careful about how much pressure you put on there. And the other thing we can do, if you want to do the inside as well, let me grab a little bit of stencil, guys. Alright, so these are all Tim Holtz, and I think I'll try this one. Going back to the vintage photo, I'm just going to do a little bit of stenciling here. So it's very, very faint. But just to add a little bit more interest. If you want to do the back, feel free. I'm not going to because it's not really going to be seen. Okay, so I'm going to say that's enough for my background. I really wished I hadn't used that stays on, but learn from my mistakes, guys. Okay. Alright, so I think we're done with the inking unless we come back and do one of these butterflies, and we'll decide that here momentarily. So that's too big for this envelope, so I'm just going to now tear it down to a size that I feel is going to work. Hang on to those pieces. You'll be surprised you can use these little bits in clusters. Okay, so I like the size of that now much, much better. And then this piece, I'm actually going to stitch this on here. But before I do that, I'm just going to carry on with, in my mind, trying to figure out what do I want the focal point to be. While I'm working on this, I'm just going to take a paper clip there. So I would probably under this add a little bit of lace. Okay, I definitely know I'll go with this one because I want to keep all the colors. I don't want to add white to this particular project, so I'm just going to go with something that's still in the cream family. I don't know, I'm just really loving the neutrals right now. The other thing I would say with going with the neutral, if you are into mass making, then you can always take this and it's going to work no matter what journal you're using. Just another little piece. I'm going to lay that there. I don't know yet if I will go with that, but we'll just play around and see. I'm kind of thinking that's a really pretty butterfly. Again, this is Cotton and Twig TX. I really should be a designer for her. I love, love this lady's designs. But I'm not. I just really think her images, just papers and things, really just are me completely. Not too foo-foo, but kind of rustic with a little bit of shabbiness, I think. And as I've said so many times, I consider my style rustic chic. I love shabby chic, but to an extent, I don't like it when it goes too frilly and too perfect. I like a little bit of imperfections, a little bit of, I don't know if it would be grunginess. I don't think anybody would define my style as grungy. Oh, I do think that's really, really pretty. Yes, I love that. I actually really, really love that. Alright, let's just play around with a little bit more detail, because do I want something else up here? I've just found this little bit. I don't want to go too much, but what if we stuck that under there and then the butterfly, because he's got the brown with that. Oh yeah, I think I think the brown is needed. It kind of detracts from this as well, so you want to keep your eye going here. Let's see, what else have we got? This is a little scrappy bit of sari. Would we want to go that far with color? Or I don't know. It's kind of nice though, because it's pulling that out of that butterfly, isn't it? So trying to keep all this together. This is where I so wish I had my sewing machine. So, ooh, that doesn't sound right. It would be nice to have my sewing machine. That way I could just run this underneath. Just play around with these things until you find, I really like that. What do you guys think? I like it. Okay. Right, I think I've decided that's the way I'm going to go with that one. So, guys, I am going to stitch this with just a few bits of thread by hand. And let me see what I've got here. So, this is just some linen thread that I've purchased, but it's incredibly thin. So it's not like the linen thread I'm accustomed to, but this is very nice to work with for sewing. Okay, let me get my glasses off. I can't really see with my glasses on. I'm just going to ink these edges a little bit more, guys, with the vintage photo. Okay, I have got the needle and thread here, and I'm just going to tack this in a few places. If I had the machine, I would totally put all of this through and just define this image. So that's what I would recommend to you guys. Sorry. I just realized I'm doing it again, and I'm so sorry, because I know that's a pet peeve for some people. Speaking to you as a group, I do apologize. So if I were you, I would stitch this whole bundle down on the machine, or if you're really into slow stitching, you could certainly do a fabulous job. As you can see, I am not very good at sewing. I can just get by, just about get by with it, but I can see I've got that tail went back through. Oh gosh, guys, it's so humid here. I'm so shocked at the humidity in New York. It is nearly as bad as Florida. I just can't seem to get into a climate that's cool enough for me now. I can't cope with it. And if you've been watching, you know that I cannot run the air conditioner in here when I'm creating a video because it's so loud. So right now I'm in complete meltdown, and it's only just after 9 in the morning. So I kind of want to get this done so I can get some humidity drawn back out of this and cool down. It's not as bad outside. I can handle it a bit better outdoors, but this is just holding it in. It's awful. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting it. And I suppose, you know, we did have some hot weather last year in Michigan. We work camped in Michigan last summer, and we did have some hot days, I won't lie, but the difference there is you've got that breeze coming off of the lakes, and it does give you a lot of relief from the heat. So I'm not so sure. We were considering coming back here next year, but I don't believe we will now. And it's a shame because most of the time I've loved the area. Is absolutely stunning. The people, except for a couple of individuals, have been great. But you get that everywhere. You're never going to get on with everybody when you're working. It would be a rare instance, I think, but yeah. There's been a couple of people here who have really turned this into a not so great experience, and I'm now, if I'm completely honest, I'm just kind of looking forward to the season being over. It's a shame to feel that way, but it happens. So yeah, I don't know where we're going from here, guys. If I did, I would be letting you know. Obviously, at some point, as we get closer to it, there's going to be some times where I'm just not going to be able to put out the content. So I hope you'll bear with me during those periods when we're shifting around. But as I know my plans, I'll keep you informed either through a video or through the community post. Oftentimes I'm posting things on there because it's just easier to do than actually getting the video out and posting it. So yeah, you can see very subtly I'm outlining this. And what that's doing at the same time is that's tacking down and holding all of those bits of trim in place. Oh, I've got one more to tack on. I just love these projects like this. It brings in everything I enjoy, which is stamping. And although I am not very good at sewing, I don't know, there's something therapeutic about it, so I do enjoy that. This I'm going to put there, and I'm just going to run the thread through just to tack that down, rather than trying to put any glue on it. But yeah, I enjoy these projects. You can sit in front of the TV or outside by the fire if you've still got some light and do these little projects. It's just very soothing. Ha! Just about cut that too short. So that has actually tacked all of those bits together, so I didn't have to worry with gluing any of it. Alright, so what are we going to do now? I am going to glue that down. You've got a couple options here, guys. You could set an eyelet. If you wanted to set an eyelet and have a pin hold this, you could certainly do that. I'm not going to. I'm just going to glue it directly, which, again, use some sort of fabric glue. Tell you what, before I do that, let me just check one more thing. I think the butterfly, I'd like it there. I was thinking if I want to add like a metal brad or anything, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to maybe on the next one I would do that. Alright, so this is just some linen thread again. I'm just going to take a dollop of glue. This year, hopefully. Gosh, I wish I could sort out this glue issue. Alright. And I'm just going to bunch this up. Make a little nest like, and then put the butterfly over that. And again, it's just a little bit more interest. Hold that down. Alright guys, there are alright. This is done. I love it. I think these are just so pretty. And then you can open that up, and inside you can have a journal card or bits of ephemera. If you want to add more detail, you could stitch along the edge of this, obviously before you add your cluster here. But I think that's just a beautiful little altered pocket. As I said, I prefer to have these in, and then I would doll up my little paper clip. I wouldn't just leave the paper clip like that. I would just add that in like so on your journal page. Beautiful. But yeah, all you got to do is just alter that up and tuck it in there, and it's beautiful. Or glue that down, and you've also created a tuck spot as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. It's so simple. I'm sorry, it just takes me a little bit longer, but honestly, these projects are very fast. They're very beginner friendly. It's just for me, the tight quarters I'm working in, it takes slightly longer, and filming. The other option you could have done if you don't want any color at all is stamp an image. And as I said, that would totally work. But I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I hope it's inspired you. If you create one of these, please include hashtag TheFireFlyStudio67 on Instagram, and I can see the project that you've done. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today. Take care, and I will be back soon. Bye-bye.